Yeah. When your school will be finished? School time. No clock. Very good school. What is that school name? KV school. KV2 or KV1? Oh, very good school. She's your classmate, huh? I think different section. I thought you brought admission, so we'll give commission like that. I thought.
Oh my God.
Yes. Good only. Same IIT like that. They same. Actually, they will send one proposed schedule. They won't change. The proposed schedule I sent, but April 5th already started now. So all over India, experts will tell their opinion. As per the opinion, again it will be revised. It will be monthly, sometimes weekly also it will be done. That is not for us, for yourself, for you only. Okay. Good evening, students. Say hello, online students.
After this session,
You can leave. So I think everyone, first of all, very good evening. Where is my marker? Okay. So once again, very good evening all, for both offline and online students. So schedule has been revised. I have shared in the right. Concentrate. You. Once class started, you have to focus fully. That will affect your marks. If you don't understand concepts, there is no point of you are coming here. Parents are keeping lot of expectations from you. Okay, so the basic thing, attention of class is important. Second thing, after understanding, you have to go to your house, work out problem. Understood? If the concepts are strong, any problem you can do. So concentrate. Understood? Any activity you have to stop. Once lecture is started, you have to be very focused. I'm telling you. Okay? Now I shared that schedule, revised schedule. This week, vectors is there and kinematics is there. And if you don't have any test, once test is started, I will inform clearly. 1 week before only I will inform. First CPT on May 3. Okay. As per the Parviz information, May 3 it is there. Okay, we will see that. Anyway, without delay, today revision test 25 is there.
25, sir. This week we have, this week Monday we have 100% serial number.
No CPT. The revised schedule you have to see. Yesterday I posted on revised schedule. Go through that. Follow that. What schedule I posted last, na? Consider that only.
That only, sir. That revision test, serial number 1 and 2.
Revision test.
Yes, sir. Sir, this portion will keep writing.
Which portion? This one.
Vectors, elements.
Okay, we'll see that. Okay, no problem. We'll start the vectors first. I will not teach like a beginners. You are a beginner. Okay. Here just a revision type, not a. It is not a lecture for a beginner. Lecture for beginners is different. This is a revision. Why? Because you are stepping into 12th standard. So the format mode of teaching will be just touching important areas. Understood? Once you will, it will be revised. That's all. And especially for new students, any doubt is there, stop me. Clear? Okay. Okay, so stop, sir. I did not understand that, sir. We'll feel happy if you ask like that. We won't feel you are disturbing the class. Like that, we never feel. Already old student, they know. Okay, you also new student. Okay. Now let us begin. Tell me what is the vector meaning? The parameter which should have magnitude and it should have direction, and also it should obey vector properties. Which properties? Vector properties it has to obey. Like vector addition, vector subtraction, vector multiplication, all such laws it will obey. So then only you can say that parameter is called what here? Vector. Okay. For example, if you take any current wire, in the 2 ampere current is flowing. It has magnitude and also it has direction. Do you call the current as a vector quantity?
No, sir.
No. Why? It is not obeying the vector property. But rule is it should obey the vector properties. I will tell you what is a vector property. 1 plus 1, how much? 2. This is called scalar addition or magnitude addition. Now, 1 vector plus 1 vector, can you say it is 2? May not be 2, may be 2 also. 1 plus 1 can be 0 also. If one have direction, this one have direction, 1 plus 1 can be 0 also. One example, one person walked for 1 kilometer east side. Assume board has a surface of ground. Earth is having how many directions? East, west, north and south. Then he changed mind. Then he walked 1 kilometer towards north side. Then he stopped. What a total displacement of that man? This is only total displacement of the man, no? Total displacement means shortest distance between initial position and final position. According to Pythagoras theorem, what is the displacement of the man? Under root of 1 square plus 1 square. That is how much? Root 2. Here what happened? 1 plus 1 become root 2. In vector, 1 plus 1 may not be 2. There is no compulsion. Clear? Okay. So today, first of all, we'll see the representation of a vector. How can you represent a vector here? Every vector representing with the arrow mark. What mark?
Arrow mark.
Arrow mark. Where the tail is representing the starting point, and this is called head, and this is called tail is representing the starting position, and this head is representing the ending position if one person is walking. If this is a force vector, means it is representing the direction of the force here. Okay. First of all, The length of this vector is called what here? Magnitude. For example, one person walked 1 kilometer along the x-axis. So you can write his displacement equal to how much? 1 into I cap. This is the correct representation of the vector. It should include magnitude and it should include direction. One is representing what? Magnitude. 1 kilometer he walked. In which direction he walked? Along x direction or along east. X-axis is also called east. How many directions are there on the ground? East, west, north, south. East is called positive x, west is called negative x, north is called positive y, south is called negative y. Are you understanding the representation? Now, if I applied one force, huh? You asked me, right? Northeast will come very soon. Right? You have to focus here on everything I will cover. Are you understanding? So, I am applying some force, some 10 Newton on one book in this direction. How will you represent this force? You have to write force vector equal to how much? 10 into what a unit vector along this y-axis? Minus j cap. Unit means what? 1 only, na? The magnitude will be 1. If you multiply 10 with 1, nothing will happen. Moreover, 1 we are giving direction. Are you understanding? Now, how will you represent this one? See, this is one room. It is a cuboid room. Which room? It is one cuboid room. It is one cuboid room. Let's say this is which axis? X-axis. This is the origin. And what is this? Y-axis. And what is this? Z-axis. I said you, what is the unit vector along x-axis? I cap. What is unit vector along y-axis? J cap. What is unit vector along z-axis? K cap. Now, one lizard 1 meter along x-axis and reached point A, then 2 meter crawled in the vertical direction and reached point B, and then 3 meters crawled out of the wall and finally reached the point C. What is displacement of this lizard? I can write displacement equal to how much? Displacement along x-axis plus displacement along y-axis plus displacement along z-axis. Yeah, shortest distance only, na? O to A shortest distance only, na?
O to C directly.
Yes, displacement that only will come in the magnitude. Did I tell displacement is a not shortest distance? Did I tell to you?
Then you are covering all the distance.
This is not distance, displacement.
All. Okay.
Okay. So the total displacement of the lizard how much? What is displacement along x-axis? 1 into I cap. Very good. Plus what displacement along y-axis? How much?
Plus 2j.
Very good. 2 into j cap. And what displacement along z-axis? Very good. 3 into k cap. Like this, the entire situation, if you represent like this equation format, it is very convenient to use in the mathematical application. Definitely, you will ask me, nice only, sir. This displacement vector now I understood. What is the magnitude of the displacement, sir? What is the shortest distance between O and C? You know, if any vector is given, for example, the same lizard walked 1 meter along x-axis, then 1 meter along y-axis. What a total displacement?
0.
This only, na? How will you represent the displacement of this lizard? Displacement along x-axis plus displacement along y-axis. Tell me what a displacement of the lizard. Displacement along x-axis how much? 1 into I cap. Be careful. You have to include magnitude and direction. But displacement of the lizard along y-axis 1 into plus j cap. Now here time for magnitude of the displacement or magnitude of the vector. This is only magnitude, no? According to Pythagoras theorem, what is the length of this? Under root of opposite side whole square plus adjacent side whole square. Is my point clear, everyone? So I can write magnitude of the displacement equal to how much? Under root of 1 square plus 1 square. Here also, what is the magnitude of the displacement of the lizard? Under root of 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square. I hope everyone understood how to tackle the, what is the use of the vector you understood. In three-dimensional cases, the situation will become complex and worse. We cannot do a problem in one-dimensional motion. One car is going in one road along x-axis, we feel difficult to solve the situation. Understood? How to analyze the rocket? Rocket is moving in the three-dimensional space. When rocket is moving in the three-dimensional space means it has x component, it has y component and z component also. To tackle that kind of three-dimensional situation, one should have the good skills in vector. You have to enhance good skills in vector. If you are strong in vector, any three-dimensional concept in any level, your PG level, UG level, it will be very easy. Now, if you are weak in vector, that area, that three-dimensional vector, you will not understand. Understood? Now, very immediately, I will introduce types of vectors. First of all, two-dimensional position vector. What is this? Two-dimensional position vector. Assume this is the board as a one road or ground. This is the which axis? X-axis and y-axis. Here one origin is there. What is the origin meaning? Origin is the location of the observer. Wherever he is standing, that is his place, origin. And is observing one bus or one object P. And if you draw any vector from observer to object, that is called position vector. So I will drop one perpendicular line to x-axis. I will drop one perpendicular line to y-axis. This distance is how much? X meter. This distance is how much? Y meter. Now just now I told vector addition principle. This is called resultant vector or position vector only, na? This is resultant vector only, na? So I can write position vector equal to displacement along x-axis plus displacement along y-axis. I can write, na? Yes or no? I can write r vector equal to how much? X vector plus y vector. And in x vector, what I can write? Magnitude of the distance into I cap I can write, no? Because magnitude you have to include, direction also you have to include. What is displacement along y-axis? Tell me. Y into j cap. This is the general representation of the position vector. What is this? General representation of the two-dimensional position vector. And what is the magnitude of the position vector? Tell me. How will you represent magnitude? Simply r. If you remove the vector, only r you have written, only that magnitude or only numerical value. How will you find r value? Tell me. Very good. Under root of x square plus y square. This is called magnitude. Magnitude of the Resultant vector or position vector. This is called vector form. What form? Vector form. Then what is the direction of the position vector? I told many times. What is the direction of the position vector meaning? What is the meaning of direction? Angle between x-axis and the position vector is called direction. Direction means angle. Understood? How to find the direction? Tell me.
And theta equal to x by y by x. Adanta.
How to find the theta? Tell me.
And theta equal to
Many ratios you can use. You can use tan ratio. Tan of theta equal to how much? Opposite side by adjacent side. So theta value how much I can write? Very good. Tan inverse of y by x. Tan means it is the representation of the slope at this moment, at this instant. Tan means slope. One curve is there, right? One point I will take. You draw one tangential line. That is representing tan theta means slope. Slope at that moment. Slope is more or less, you will understand. Okay. Now, this resultant vector I can split into x component and y component. Na? Right or not?
yes,
This vector R vector, how I can split? Into x component and into y component. That too plus x component and plus y component. Yes or no?
yes,
If this position vector is like this, how I can split?
minus y
I can split into negative y component and I can split into negative x component. Say yes or no? So depends on the orientation of the position vector. You can split any vector into how many components? Two components. One is x component and other one is y component. That is called resolution of the vector. Okay. Now, as I am splitting into positive x component and positive y component, what I can write? Sine of theta equal to how much? Opposite side by hypotenuse. So what is the y component value? R into sine of theta. Understood? Cosine theta value how much?
x by r.
Adjacent side x by hypotenuse r. So what is the x component equal to? R cosine theta. Understood? Now you can use this resolution of vector for anything. For example, this is one inclined plane or slope plane. Let's say some angle theta. One person is sitting on this inclined plane, like on mountain or hill. How many forces are acting? Earth is pulling downwards, na? M into G.
Yes, sir.
If the person slides, in which direction he slides, that is only our x-axis. I told many times. What is the concept of x-axis in physics? I told many times. X-axis means motion, representing motion. What is y-axis? No motion or perpendicular to x-axis. Now this is theta means this is how much? Also theta. This is how much? 90 minus theta. Then this is how much? Theta. Now directly mg can be split into how many components? Which is sticking to theta. This component is what? Mg
Cosine theta.
cosine theta. This is which component? Mg
Sine theta.
sine of theta. Same thing we found now. R means this is R cosine theta and R sine theta. Like that in situation, directly you can write. That is the two-dimensional position vector. Now two-dimensional position vector completed. What's up next? Very good. Three-dimensional position vector. In your UG level, in your physics, 9-dimension position vector also will be there. That is called tensor. Understood? 9 dimension. Yes. I explained x, y, and z only, na? 3 dimension, na? Again in your U. Understood? In your UG level, PG level, again this x component will be splitting into 3 more dimensions. Y will be splitting into UG means undergraduation. Right? Who said that? You are in secondary school. And suggest. Good. Huh? It should be covered full board. அரே ஜூம் பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஜூம் பண்ண முடியாது, பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஜூம்ல பண்ண முடியுமா? ஓ, we can do. Is it so?
We can zoom, sir. They only can zoom.
I don't know. Very good. Sir. That's what intelligent people. You can use the traditional way, sir, using front camera. No, yeah. Resolution is disturbing. I checked. Now it is good, na? Someone called me. You not called, na? Keep your hands on the desk. Okay. Now we will see 3-dimensional position vector. 3-dimensional position vector means what you have to do? Draw one cuboid. Here we are analyzing motion of a rocket or motion of a flight which are in the 3-dimensional space. If you want to analyze bus, 1 dimension x-axis is enough, na? Road is x-axis. Understood? You fired one rocket. Y-axis is enough. But aeroplane is going like this. Aeroplane, assume this room, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, z-axis. If the aeroplane is going like this, how many components are there?
Both, all three.
That is 35. This is 500. Understood. Interest also will not. Okay, so it is like this one. How many components are there?
3 components.
3 components. X, Y, Z. Like that. To study that complex motion, understood, you should have this concept knowledge of this 3-dimensional position vector. Again, just now what I shown the cuboidal room. Now again I am drawing here. This is a cuboidal room. Again, what is this axis? This is x-axis. This is which axis? Z. And what is the axis? Y-axis. Where are we? We means our location always at the origin. For suppose one object like lizard or something is here, or we are observing one aeroplane is at position P. It is at x distance on x-axis and y distance on y-axis and z distance, z kilometer, and on the z-axis. Now tell me what is the position vector of that aeroplane? Respond.
X I cap, Y J cap.
Very good. Position vector on the of the aeroplane or object, how much?
X I cap plus.
You have to apply vector addition rule or vector superposition. Understood? What is that? X into I cap plus how much? Y into J cap plus Z into K cap. This is the representation, general representation of the 3-dimensional position vector. How will you write the magnitude directly? I removed vector mean that is magnitude. How much that is under root of how much? X square plus
Y square plus
Y square plus
Z square.
Z square. That is the displacement, total magnitude of the position of that aeroplane. As I told you that aeroplane is also in motion. So if you differentiate this position with respect to time, we will get velocity also, no? Yes or no? For example, is any cuboidal frame. This is the x-axis, and what is this? Y-axis, and what is this? Z-axis. This is our object. This is our matter. But the angle between the position vector and x-axis is, let's say, alpha. Angle between position vector and y-axis is how much? Beta. And the angle between position vector and z-axis is how much? Gamma. Now shall I write this x equal to, shall I write r cosine of alpha? With your permission. This is r mean, this is r cosine alpha only, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I can write x equal to how much? R into cosine alpha. This is length r means, what is this length?
9 cosine.
Very good.
Beta.
Cosine beta, r cosine beta. Anything respond?
R cosine alpha.
Very good. Y into y equal to how much? R into
Cosine beta.
cosine beta. Correct?
Yes, sir.
What is z value? Tell me.
R cosine gamma.
R cosine of gamma. Just now I told magnitude of the position vector how much? Under root of x square plus y square plus and z square. Na? Substitute everything. The squaring on both sides. What I can write? R square equal to how much? X square plus y square plus how much? Z square. Substitute x value, y value, z value here. What I can write? R square equal to how much? R cosine of alpha whole power 2 plus R cosine beta whole power 2 plus R cosine gamma whole power 2. If you simplify, what do you get?
R square cosine square alpha plus R square into
What do you get here? R square equal to how much?
R square cosine alpha.
Very good. R square cosine square alpha plus R square cosine square beta plus R square cosine square gamma. R square, R square, R square, R square cancels out. So this is a very important law. Cosine square alpha plus cosine square beta plus cosine square gamma equal to 1. This is a very important law. This is called law of cosine. Law of cosine. Okay. Now, for suppose one person has walked for some how many kilometers? A kilometers he walked. What is this? This is the original path, na? Yes or no? Now slightly he deviated like this. In which direction? Anti-clockwise direction he deviated. How much angle deviated? Let's say theta. Thereafter, how many meters he traveled? Let's say d kilometers he traveled. How many kilometers? D kilometers he traveled, and finally he came to rest. Then what is total displacement of the man or resultant vector?
A to B.
From initial position to final position, if you keep any arrow, that is only called resultant vector or resultant displacement of that man. Please say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Understood? R is called what here? Resultant vector. Resultant displacement or resultant vector. We added A vector with B vector only, na? Then only you will get this resultant vector. So how I can write? Shall I write like this? R vector equal to how much? A vector plus
B vector.
B vector shall I write? What is the name of this principle? Vector superposition principle. I will drop one perpendicular line here. Now you people have to respond. This length is A meter only, na? From here to here, he traveled A kilometers only, na? You tell me what is this distance? This length is B means this length how much? B cosine theta. This length is B nor. Then this will be how much? B cosine of theta. Now our Aravind tell this distance. Everyone please keep quiet. Tell Ray Parvez.
B sin theta.
Very good. B sin theta. Understood? Then how will you find the length of this resultant vector or resultant displacement? Pythagoras theorem only, na? This is one right angle I constructed. So I can write magnitude of the resultant vector how much? Under root of
A square.
opposite side whole square means
A plus
B sin theta
whole square.
whole square plus
A plus B
adjacent
cosine
side
theta.
whole square means A plus B
Cosine theta
cosine
whole
of
square.
theta whole power 2. We simplify what we get. I know that equation, so I'm not simplifying. I'll write the direct expression. This is the magnitude of the resultant vector. R equal to how much? Under root of A square plus B square plus 2
AB
AB into
cosine
cosine of theta. This is called parallelogram law of vector addition. What I have done? I added vector A with vector B. In general scalar addition, R equal to A plus B. But here R equal to not A plus B under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cosine theta. For understanding? Now, direction I want. Times I told. This is an angle between resultant vector and this x-axis is only called direction alpha. How I can find? Tan alpha equal to how much?
B sin theta. A plus B cosine
Is
theta.
muted or unmuted? Check Raymond. I think it's unmuted only. No? So I can write tan alpha equal to how much?
B sin theta.
Opposite side. What is opposite side equal to? B sin of theta divided by
A plus B
what
cosine
adjacent
theta.
side? How much? A plus B cosine of theta. So what is direction alpha equal to how much? Tan inverse of how much? B sin theta divided by A plus B cosine theta. So these two formulas compulsory you have to remember. Understood? Now one practice problem I will give. You have to do it. Are you ready? One man walked 5 kilometers in the east. Which direction? East. This is east on the ground. Board always acting like a ground. East, west, north and south. Then he changed its direction. Means 30 degrees he changed. And again he traveled 5 kilometers. Find the displacement of the man. and find the direction of the resultant displacement also. What is that? Direction of resultant vector also, resultant displacement also.
R is 5 kilometers. Okay, 5 kilometers.
No, wrong, right?
Under root 3 now.
This is only the
No.
magnitude of the resultant displacement, no? How much that R equal to?
Under root 25.
That form under root of 5 square plus how much? 2 into 5 into 5 into how much? Cosine of 60. Sorry, cosine of 30, na?
5 under root 3.71.
To simplify 25 plus
Root 3.
25 plus how much? 50 into cosine 30 value how much? Root 3 by 2. So how much that is? 50 plus 25 into root 3. So 25 to take outside, what we can write? 2 plus root 3. Root 25 means what? 5 and under root of how much? 2 plus root 3 kilometer is our answer. That is the magnitude of the displacement of that person, or total displacement of the person. But direction of R, this alpha only I have to find, na?
Yes,
sir.
Tan inverse of 5 bracket 1 by 2 plus under root 3.
Very good. So what is formula? Alpha equal to how much? Tan inverse of B sin theta. B sin theta means what? 5 sin 30 divided by A plus B cosine 30 means 5 plus 5 cosine 30. To simplify, we get the direction also. Okay? Understood now, everyone? Now, angle between the two vectors. See here, this is one vector and this is one vector. Here angle is 30 degree. You people tell me what is the angle between the two vectors?
150 degree.
Very good, 150 degree, not 30 degree. The rule is, before you are measuring the angle between the two vectors, their tails must be in contact. So this vector I will extend like this. Their tails in contact, na, this vector A and vector B. Their tails in contact, na, this tail, this tail. So the shortest distance, shortest angle is called angle between the two vectors, not 30 degrees. 99% of the students will fail here. Angle between the two vectors is not 30 degrees. One more I will give. Shall I give? This is one vector A and this is one vector B. And this angle is 328 degrees. Now tell me what is the angle between the two vectors? Minus
40 degree.
40 degrees enough. I did not ask specifically. The smallest angle between the two vectors when they aligned in the tails in contact, reverse order fashion. Orderly fashion means head near tail, tail near head. This is orderly fashion. One order is there, no? This is what? This is reverse order. As tails are touching, what is the name of the order? Reverse orderly fashion. So what is the angle between the two vectors right now?
40.
Angle between A vector and B vector, how much? This one, 360 minus 320. That is how much? 40 degrees. Understand? Okay. Now, one more problem I will give. You have to do it. Assume this board as a surface of ground. What is this? Board as a surface of ground, student. On this ground, one book I placed. What I placed? One book I have placed. I am pulling with some 10 Newton like this. Understood? And my friend is pulling with 10 Newton like this. And this angle is some 300 degrees. What a resultant force on the book? Are you understanding the question? Total force or net force or resultant force acting on the book, how much? What is the question? Find the resultant force acting on the book.
Under root 300.
Under root 300. This is Parvi's answer. Under root 300 means 10 root 3. Any supporters? No
10
support.
root 3. 10 root
10 root 3. First rule, these two vectors, how you have to align?
3. Tail by tail.
Very good. Tail to tail.
Tail to head, sir.
Tail to tail, right?
For angle, tail to tail.
No problem. Angle determination is important. Tails you have to compulsory keep. This is 10 Newton. And what is this? 10 Newton.
Here also is a 15 to tail.
No problem, right? This 10 Newton I will write here. I can take this 10 Newton to any place without changing direction and magnitude. As I told, this angle is given how much?
300.
300. Means this is definitely how much? 60 degree only, na? 60 degree, na? This is 60 means this is how much, right? 120, na? Means angle between the two vectors here also 120, no? Please say yes or no? Not understood, huh? So no issue. This is one 10 Newton, right? This is 10 Newton, no? Clear, understood, no? This is 10 Newton, 10 Newton. This angle how much, right?
300.
I only gave 300, no? Then this angle how much? 60. Understood, huh? I will extend this. Then this angle how much? 120, no? Now understood. F1 vector, this is the second force F2 vector.
Tail must be in contact.
Tail and tail must be in contact. F2 now I am shifting here. Now this angle same only, na? Yes or no? Now tell me what is the angle between the two forces?
110.
10 Newton only the answer. Very good. Perfect. It is wrong. Questions will frame like this. Understood? What you can do, he will not give in neat. What do you slip? What do you commit mistakes? He will set that question like that. For understanding. So now what I should write? Net force acting on the book, how much? How much? Under root of
F square
F square plus, I mean 10 square plus 10 square. 10 square plus 10 square plus 2 into 2 into how much? 10 into 10 into how much? Cosine of 120. To simplify, what we can write? 100 plus 100, 200 only, na? Next to 200 into cosine 120 value, how much? Cosine
minus
90 plus 30. 90 means sine I have tried. 30 is the 30 I have tried, but 90 plus means second quadrant. Second quadrant cosine is negative. Minus sine 30 means what? Minus 1 by 2 will come. 2 ones are 2, 100s are 200 minus 100 means root 100 means 10 Newton is your answer. What a total force on the book? We proved 10 plus 10 how much, right?
10 plus 10, 10 only.
10 plus 10, we proved 10. Before you are coming to class, 10 plus 10 how much?
20.
20. Here, 10 plus 10 can be anything in vector. Huh?
We already came to this class so far.
Next time if you come also, I will prove.
Same. That, this thing was that.
Huh.
That D is just direct.
Huh.
When I came, no, that. Same thing you have explained that time also.
Yeah.
Then,
Our theory is that I know very more, but explaining is waste, no?
sir, I told that what we need you explain like that.
That's all. Understood. Clear, na?
Yes,
Okay. Anyway, leave now. Tomorrow I will take vector subtraction, addition, multiplication. Okay. Thank you, Stan. You can leave.
sir. Thank you.